No, no. You'll get better. The doctor is going to make you better. So you're not going to die. He was a stubborn and old-fashioned father. He believed endurance was a virtue, and he never complained about anything. That was why I couldn't believe he actually said he might not make it. I faux complain a lot, but actually I don't really complain about a lot of hardships though, so that makes sense. That's why I would have said I'm not going to make it. I would not have said that. Because I would have been like, yeah, I don't care. I'm going to hope that I'm going to make it through here. I'm going to hope, and I'm not going to burden her down with anything. So, that's what I would have done. I tried to deny what he said, but my wish wouldn't prolong his remaining time. My father knew that his time was limited and tried to tell me some important things. I interrupted his effort by crying like a baby. I wonder why. I wish he would slap me. What the fuck? No! Like the stump. Here, shut up. Just like he used to do every time I cried like a baby. I disagree that slapping a child when it's crying is a good way to stop it. Stop. Smack it. But he would never slap me again. Good? Listen well. Your mother and I both lost all our family in the war. Dude, you're the worst at parting words. So, after I'm dead, there won't be anyone to take care of you. What the fuck is this? This is like the worst kind of last words. I didn't need to hear that. No shit. My parents used to tell me that all the time, so I was aware of that fact. Dude! In other words, my father was the only relative left in this entire world. God. What a fucking terrible dad. If I die, you can count on Takano-sensei. Okay. Takano Hifumi-sensei. Okay, thank you for that clarification. I was gonna say, like, huh? What? Ain't no way fucking Takano Mio is a good teacher. Can you say it? Takano Hifumi. That's right. Takano Hifumi-sensei. He is my former teacher. He will help you. Daddy, 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 daddy. Many doctors came into the room in a hurry. Good. He wanted to tell me something else, but the doctor stopped him from talking, so it wasn't audible. I was kicked out of the room. I didn't know what to do. Sit there, hope, cry, pray, jump out a window. Nobody told me how my father was doing or when the surgery was going to start. You have to play it by ear. Actually, no. I would be yelling at the doctor, tell me when the fucking thing is happening. Yelling at all the nurses. Oh, I'd be irate. Because that's how I would deal with anything tragic like that happening. I would go into a fucking fury. Because I don't express sadness very well. And nobody told me that was going to be the last conversation with my father. Rough. I think I talked about Takano-sensei to the people at the government office. They always asked if I knew his phone number. I said I didn't. Then they didn't ask me anything further. Sometimes they told me they'd look into it, but nothing led to anything. They couldn't find my guardian, so I ended up going into an orphanage. At the time, there were plenty of orphans from the war, so although there were many orphanages around, they were all full. It's brutal. I don't want anyone to go into orphanage, no matter how terrible they are. I wouldn't even wish it upon my enemies of the world. It's such a cruel, cruel fate. It's terrible. There were also some orphanages run by civilians. Fucking civvies. I was sent to one of those civilian orphanages. There was no profit for taking in an orphanage in the first place. So those civilian people who were running orphanages must have been humanitarians. As much as I feel bad for orphans, oh god, I would never run an orphanage. Oh, that would be too hard. It'd be heartbreaking for me personally. It'd be like, God. Because every time I look at them, like, their whole family is dead. Their family didn't want them. Shit. This is sad. Hopefully someone adopts them. They're not going to, because that's just... People don't adopt. I'm sure they hope the children would grow in this loving environment and move on to society with a sense of gratitude. But reality isn't that promising. How many children can actually express their gratitude towards their parents in this world? Children who are supposed to be nurtured by their parents' love. Therefore, when that environment is destroyed, their hearts are wounded. Every child has his or her own personality. Receiving affection equally doesn't guarantee that a child will become someone angelic. Not everyone's heart can be healed. Orphanages are rough. They're really rough. And it's a reason why a lot of, hate to say it, but a lot of crime comes out of them, because they just have a very large resentment towards the people. They have very antisocial behavior towards people because of what they've gone through. And of course it's not their fault at all. It's not like they wished upon it. It's something they can't help. That was why there are some problem kids at the orphanage. Maybe I shouldn't call them problem kids though. The sadness and despair of losing their parents, and the anger at having to hide such feelings filled with those kids' hearts. Spending time individually with the children should have solved the problems. There's only so many hours in the day though. It's hard. But at the orphanage where I was, none of the staff members even tried to spend time with them or put the effort to understand them. All they could do was make sure that the kids followed the rules. I mean, it's a civilian run one, and they're not getting anything out of it. I mean, you can sit there and chastise them that they should have done better, but it's like, they already are doing a lot. They could have done better, yeah, but they did. That's a lot to ask for someone. And anyone like that criticizes that, it's like, are you gonna fucking open up an orphanage out of your own wallet? I don't think so. Therefore, they could only see the children's emotional pleas for help as problems. Nobody expresses love without expressing something in return, expecting something in return in this world. Not necessarily. The person who founded this orphanage was expecting something in return as well. He wanted the children to appreciate him. Well, he opened it for the wrong reasons, if that's truly the case. That was why such a faint dream was destroyed by the cruel reality. The children called the orphanage a prison, and nobody appreciated the staff. In fact, all they did was complain. That made the staff realize slowly that love alone couldn't run a facility like this. Yeah, you need fucking structure. Just like how the children called it a prison, the staff started to recognize the facility as a prison too. It was a sad chain reaction resulting from mistrust from both sides. That's the problem though, it's hard to build up trust with orphans. Because all they know is loss. It's rough. The staff bound the children with rules so they could suppress any problem behaviors. I wouldn't say bound, well, me personally, if I had to run something, I would have structure to give them some sort of regularity in life, because their life is so irregular already that you want to put them into a set schedule, try to work something in, and then every so often have like a little therapy session, a little meeting with other people so they can get to know them, let their feelings out a little bit better on an individual basis, that kind of deal. There was a framed picture of the founder of this orphanage, but I've never seen him in person. Is he satisfied with the fact that he has put in his own money into this social service? Or maybe he finally realized his dream of being surrounded by angelic children and being celebrated for what he has done was simply a dream. I don't know. But there was one thing I'm sure of. Such a dream didn't exist at the orphanage. There were so many rules, but the most important one was to be silent. Children have a tendency of talking loudly. Oh, really? Never knew that. Except I was like, no, actually no, I talk loudly. And sometimes that leads to a fight. That was why the children weren't allowed to have private talks. They must have thought things would go smoothly if there weren't any private talks. However, I think I always heard people's voices at the orphanage. Of course. There were two kinds of voices. One was the staff yelling and the other was the children crying. Damn. Yeah, you can criticize him, I guess. Like that. If he did open it for wanting to be like self-serving reasons, and yeah, I criticize him that he should not have opened it in the first place. But if he was actually trying to do the right thing for the right reasons, then I can't really criticize if it doesn't go well. We were not allowed to walk around inside of the orphanage freely, so we didn't know who was crying. Damn. Along with the crying and yelling, we heard something metallic being bashed against something. We knew it was some kind of a punishment, but there was no way of us to even imagine. We trembled and pretended we didn't hear anything and kept working on our homework. One of my roommates told me it was a punishment of a casket. But she didn't tell me any further, and I didn't want to know either. Even if we behaved exactly the same way as yesterday. If the staff were in a bad mood, they could pick on us. So even if I didn't want to know, I might suddenly find out what a punishment of a casket was one day. That's fucking... The footsteps of a staff member were getting closer. We noticed him, so we strained our backs and pretended we were studying hard. It was more important that the staff saw us studying hard than what we actually got any work done. I noticed the girl next to me was falling asleep, so I poked her with my elbow. She noticed my signal and straightened her back like the other children. It was almost evening time. This was the hardest time for us to keep ourselves awake, and the most dangerous time. The door to our room opened, and a mean-looking man showed up. Then he looked around to make sure none of us were falling asleep. Even if we were actually studying hard, if he thought we were asleep, we were out. That was why we had to make sure we appeared to be studying very hard. The man walked around our desks. I hoped he would just walk by me. God, I am a master. I mastered the art of making it look like I was studying when I'm really just fucking daydreaming. I'm just looking at this page intently. Someone walks by, I flip a page. But other than that, I'm just staring at one page. That was what we all prayed as we kept working on our homework. The more we pretended to study hard, the more we could hear the sound of metal objects. The sound of metal objects crashing into each other along with screams. Fuck. We couldn't even imagine what the poor subject was going through. The fuck is this? Can someone call the police? Also, maybe there's something worse than a punishment of a casket. To erase such a fear, we tried to concentrate even harder on our work. We kept working. The metal sound and the screams went on forever. Jesus. It's fucked up. The only time when we were allowed to exchange words with our roommates is after we turn the lights off to go to bed. The orphanage is located in the middle of the mountains, so it is very quiet at night. We make sure the staff members are far enough from our room first, and then we enjoy our private conversations. That is our only leisure. It isn't anything that special, though. That's because we simply badmouth the staff. We talk about how one of them is only mean to a certain person, or that one of them is unfair. We continue until someone falls asleep. We even talk about how we can get back at the staff, and we take revenge on all of them in our imaginations. Some kids even start to cry as they get too emotional talking about it. Although the subject we talk about is negative, talking about it is the only way to vent our frustration, and we even feel despair about tomorrow. And even though we feel despair about tomorrow, we are able to fall asleep. But sometimes a different subject pops up. It is about the Higurashi House of Love and Mercy, on the other side of the river. Sure, I'm gonna pretend I said that right, even though I know I didn't. Yeah, over there, kids get snacks after their nap time. And the director is such a sweet person. The House of Love and Mercy is a privately run orphanage, just like this one. Yeah, that could also just be, yeah, we just call it that. But it's a very different place from this place. In fact, it's the complete opposite of how it is here. A few years ago, when the place was a lot worse than now, a few children tried to escape. It's hard to believe there was a time when this place was worse than this. Supposedly 3 or 4 people tried to escape. I don't know the exact number though. They headed to the House of Love and Mercy. They succeeded. Except for one unlucky child, they were able to get to the property of the House of Love and Mercy. I guess the staff couldn't follow them into the other orphanage's property. I guess for this orphanage's staff to be on the other orphanage's property was like trespassing. That's just anyone being on anyone else's property. The staff regretted not being able to catch the children, and came back with one they caught. I'm sure they wanted to bring back the rest of the children too. I'm sure they were determined not to let anyone escape, and the way they locked up the place after the incident proved their determination. But the escaped children were never brought back. No matter how much the staff were mortified, they couldn't bring the children back and punish them. In other words, if you could get to the House of Love and Mercy, you could escape from this hell. Of course, the one who was caught went through misery afterwards. However, nobody really knows how he was punished. There are only strange words left from the people who knew about the incident. A punishment of a duck who can't drink water. Punishment of a squished caterpillar. A punishment of a pig with torn arms and legs. I can't even imagine what kind of punishments they are. The only thing I can say is that those punishments are supposed to be far more harsher than a punishment of a casket, which this was the most cruel punishment I knew at the time. I can only imagine how horrible these punishments are from those eerie names. After that, his wish came true, and he was able to leave the orphanage. Was he able to leave this orphanage safely and enjoy the freedom while breathing in fresh air under the blue sky? According to the rumor, he wasn't able to. Damn. Fuck. While he was playing in the boiler room, he slipped and fell, damaged his brain, and died. Fuck me. They beat the ever-loving shit out of him. Like, they killed him. Holy shit. The children were instructed not to go into the boiler room after the incident. Yeah, I'm sure. Probably because there's fucking blood. Everyone knew the boiler room was always locked. So everyone knew he was killed. He wasn't just killed. He was killed after being tortured. He was killed to teach other children a lesson. Fuck. Yeah, if I escape, I'm calling the goddamn police. The children who risked their lives to escape lived their lives filled with love and mercy at the House of Love and Mercy. Like, I'm gonna be that one. I'm gonna be the fucking savior. That's how you become a savior to those children. You're the one kid that called the police and saved their asses. Because that needs to be broken up. They lived ordinary lives, but they were far better ones compared to here. I don't know if the House of Love and Mercy was really heaven. Maybe all the orphanages are pretty much the same. But compared to this orphanage, I bet anything else is better. Even if someone else escapes it successfully, the police will catch him. Then he will be sent back to the orphanage. That will be the same as being killed. However, if he can reach the House of Love and Mercy, they will take him in. They won't send him back. By talking about escaping to the House of Love and Mercy, we try to forget our cruel reality. Then our group leader, Eriko, says to us quietly, "Would you try to escape? If you had a chance to." Oh, good. We get to go back to this time, finally. Who doesn't want to escape from here? It is a rather foolish question. No, it's not. Because you have to be aware of the consequences. If you get caught, you're gonna fucking die. Or be tortured. But that isn't what she meant. If there's a chance to escape, would you take the chance, knowing that what you had to go through if you get caught? Exactly. See? That is what she meant. Duh. Come on. How young are these kids? Nobody can answer immediately. If the past escape incident was a total success, then we might have thought differently. But after the incident, the orphanage tightened the security to prevent escapes. All the doors and windows are locked heavily, and it and it isn't easy to escape. Even if another group escape is planned, the success rate is very low. So you just distract them with a different escape attempt. You have two going at the same time. Sacrifice one group for the other group. Fuck you guys. And both have equal chances of success, but if you completely distract them, like everyone goes to them, then you're free to jimmy that lock. 3 escaped and 1 was caught before. Maybe 2 will be caught this time. No, maybe everyone will be caught. If I could, I'd want to escape. But the House of Love and Mercy is far away. The bridge is long too. We all will be caught. Besides, we can't even go outside. Everything is locked. That's when you fucking sprint. I don't care. That you run for all it's worth. You don't stop running. You just keep going. There are locks everywhere. One will need a key for both the inside and outside. After the lights are turned off, even the hallway is divided and locked. Damn. There's no mistake. This is a prison. No shit. According to the rumors, the orphanage receives government funding depending on the number of children it houses. So if anyone escapes, they lose money. Also, if we expose the conditions at the orphanage, they will be inspected and things will get complicated. This is the reason why they want to make sure that we are locked in. Sure, if there was a chance, I would want to escape. But realistically, there's no way we could escape. Everything is locked. Well, do you know the hen house in the courtyard? It uses the same key as the door in the back to the back stairs. Eh? Really? Shh. Erica shushes us. Sometimes mass-produced locks take the same key. Sometimes. Of course, they would usually use different types of locks, so this won't happen. But I guess the staff did notice it. Oh, I'd check every single fucking lock. I mean, I would be anal. If I didn't want anyone to escape, I'm making sure those locks are all different. I'm making insanely complicated locks. Actually, I wouldn't have number combinations because those are actually really fairly easy to figure out. That's all I fucking did in elementary school. They had a bunch of number combinations. I'd sit there for like an hour at a time just going through numbers really quickly until I figured them out. And it's like, hey, thanks for this lock. I didn't steal the lock because that would be stupid. But I would just do whatever was behind that lock. So there are 2 locks that use the same key at the orphanage. However, the children never had a chance to ever even touch the keys. But there are a few exceptions. One is the hen house. Each group takes turns taking care of the different chores. If your group is to take care of the hen house, you get the key from the teacher's office to clean the hen house. You're supposed to return the key immediately after you're done. While taking care of the hen house, the key is in the children's hands. The staff members come around to check sometimes, but they can't keep an eye on us at all times. Erico, you aren't thinking about using that key, are you? I mean, what you do is the second they turn around, you quietly try to work on that lock. And then you leave once you unlock it. Or once you hear it unlock, take the lock off. Or leave it there. And then, like, once you don't hear the footstep, take it off. Open the door as quietly as possible. Get everyone out. Close the door as quietly as possible. Lock the door from the outside. See if that works. Actually, no, it's probably a deadbolt. Never mind. So, can't do that. Hope. Close the door. Throw the key as far as you can. Fuck the key. Don't need that shit anymore. Actually, no, you can. It's a 2-way lock. You can just lock it that way. Lock again. Slow him down as long as possible. Let's not. It's too dangerous. Of course it's dangerous if there's only one of us. But it's different if we're in a group. Why? Do you know why only one was caught in the past group escape incident? They were desperate. To escape as a group, they did something. To increase the chance of success. Sacrifice. Human sacrifice. Meat shield. That was why only one was caught. Ha. Sacrifice. Kick him. Sorry, not today. What did they do? They scattered as they ran. They scattered in different directions. Oh, well, that's slightly less interesting than my idea. They waited until the day when there were only a few people working at the orphanage and ran in different directions. That way, although it all depends on luck, it will increase the chance of success for sure. Yeah, poor one son of a bitch is gonna get caught. Sucks for him. You probably won't be able to flee on your own, but if the staff were to chase after the other children, then the success of escaping successfully would increase. In other words, Eriko is inviting us to escape as a group. The more children join, the chance it will increase. But there are children who communicate secretly with the staff for their own benefit. So she has to be very careful about who she talks to. Oh, fucking snitches. Get the hell out of here. Eriko must trust us since she asked us to escape with her. Eriko, me, Tomoe, and Kikuko? Sure. 4 children. Do any of you here want to stay here a day longer? The 3 of us shake our heads. I would start laughing as a joke. Ha! The hell out of here. But at the same time, we can't agree to escape with her either. Of course we don't want to stay here a day longer or even an hour longer. Even if we did exactly the same thing as yesterday, we may be yelled at tomorrow. I can't stand this anymore. I can't stand living in fear of what to do and what not to do, so I won't be yelled at. We all feel the same way. Maybe we can endure the strict rules. Huh. But it is almost impossible to endure the vague rules. It isn't too much to say that the rules at this orphanage depend on the mood of the staff. This is okay, that isn't okay. Such border lines change daily. And if we were to say anything about it, we would be treated in a horrible way. I will escape, even if I have to do it alone. Like I said, the more people join, the better the chance. Think about it. If they find out about this henhouse key trick, they're sure to change the lock on the back door. In other words, we only have one chance. Even if we regret not joining in later, it will be too late. But, I'm scared. I'm scared too. If we get caught, we'll be killed. Tomi and Kikuku, whatever, aren't the only ones who are scared. I doubt he's important, any of these characters. For the future. Except the protagonist in this case, which I'm still gonna assume is Takano. The fear is understandable, because suddenly the fear of the punishment that follows becomes very realistic. I'm sure Eriko feels the same way too, but her courage is suppressing the fear. And she shared the idea with us. So do you plan to stay here forever? No way. I know you're scared, but this is the only chance we have. You have to be brave just this once. What about you, Miyoko? Do you want to go away with me? Unlike Tomi and Kikuko, I'm not trembling that much. Of course I'm scared in my own way, but compared to the other two, I must appear rather calm. Okay, I guess that's her full name, Miyoko Takano? Sure. Can we really escape? Of course Eriko can't guarantee our success. Unless, of course, she just changed her name kind of like Rena did. But I had to ask her. There's no guarantee. But if you come with me, then that'll increase the chance. Of course, the same thing can be said for you too. Eriko says it calculatingly. Ugh. But I'm sure she just wants someone else to agree to go with her. It is more important than anything to increase the chance of escape. Tomi and Kikuko, if you're too scared, then I won't force you. Miyoko and I will escape ourselves. 2 is enough. Well. Eriko rushes the two to make up their minds. It's almost too cold, but it is her way of making them brave. Because it's very possible that regardless of the outcome of our escape attempt, those two will be held responsible since they are our roommates. It's not like we'll do it tomorrow. Our turn to take care of the henhouse is in a week. We'll wait for the perfect timing. If we don't feel right, then we'll wait another week. Our next turn. We'll be careful. The rotation of the staff and the timing are important. But we also have to know the way to the House of Love and Mercy. We are planning to scatter, so we have to know the area. I make up my mind. Okay, I'm coming with you. But let's be very careful with the time of escape, okay? Of course. We'll be killed if we get caught. I don't want to die. I'll come too. Me too. Tomi and Kikuo agree, and we all decide to escape as a group. We waited for the perfect timing. We waited for the day where only a few staff members were at the orphanage. We decided to let God take care of the rest. Flashback. It's open. Maybe it was the way I did it. Eriko tried to open the lock several times without success, but I got it to open on the first attempt. You don't know how to fucking work a key. The back door opens slowly, and we feel the cool breeze. This isn't the free world yet. Actually, it is the complete opposite. If the staff were to find out we're here, we would be in big trouble. This is a dangerous world. But unless we went through this dangerous world, we wouldn't be able to go any further. So you close the doors quietly, lock it back, run as fast as you can.